Outgoing.
Love it. The best.
Affable.
Extravagant.
Bright. Genuine.
Caring.
Energetic. Charismatic. Funny. Sweet.
Dedicated.
Kind.
Humble.
Unlimited.
Alright, so Diversity Club is a club that explores sort of just all the different avenues of diversity that you can have in the community.
So Diversity Club is basically a club where we get to understand more about the people around us, not only kind of in our town, but in a whole world type of sense.
My initial idea for the club was to make a safe space for kids to talk about issues concerning like communication of diversity. So when they come into like an environment where they have to be knowledgeable and talk about these different topics, they don't feel like they're at a loss.
Well, diversity in Sandwich, and just like for the students and for the teachers, I think that is important. The teachers know that there isn't just one set of student, and there's not one set of history that you should learn and history that should be shoved away as unimportant or less important simply because it's not white.
What I noticed in school was a lot of ignorance almost, or not even ignorance, just like people just didn't know. So I want to make a safe space where kids can ask questions about these certain things and feel free to, be honest about their opinions. And then I realized that just so this information didn't just stay in the club, I really wanted to kind of go more school-wide. So I was thinking of having like a mentoring program with the club to maybe STEM and Forestdale and Oak Ridge to kind of talk to the younger kids about, simple, general things about diversity.
So I'm hoping Diversity Club brings awareness again to basically a whole worldview, because we're in such a small bubble within Sandwich, but also I'm hoping that we get a better understanding of Sandwich itself and the problems going on with, tolerance within Sandwich.
When we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird, she was very concerned with the Black community's perspective on what was happening to Tom Robinson, and she even brought it up to me in class that we should be reading more, supplementary materials that gave Black characters perspective. I give more like diversity in my own curriculum based on comments that Evelyn said in class.
Boy, Evelyn is just she's a very compassionate person. She kind of came into the world that way, caring about others. She was born in Colorado, but her early childhood was in Memphis, so she saw a tremendous amount of diversity there. That, I think, that experience definitely influenced her. We would spend a lot of time talking about inequality and how wrong that was, and trying to recognize all the wonderful things that we were receiving because we were white and we lived in the right zip code, and how our responsibility was to be grateful for what we had and to share it and to give back. But it certainly didn't mean that we were special. It meant that we had a responsibility to say thank you and pay it forward.
My sister is very determined, and she always gets done what needs to get done.
Because she's really respectful of other people's ideas, opinions, and she would never shoot anyone down. She won't make anyone feel smaller than what they should be.
Evelyn is definitely a very committed and goal-oriented person. I think she won't really stop working until she's gotten what she wanted. So it's very important that she's leading it, because things are gonna get done.
Well, we were both auditioning for a show, and she was a really good singer, and I was actually really jealous of her because I knew that she was going to get a better part than me. I was the nicest person I know, and she's kind, she thinks of other people before herself, and I think that's really good for someone, especially about diversity, and make sure people feel accepted and everything like that.
It was actually, funny story, I was on vacation in Colorado Springs, where I was born, and we went to this Mexican restaurant called Jorge's, and I was in the car with this notebook just scribbling down all these ideas for this club, and I was like, there needs to be a place where kids can talk about this, because I'm sick of hearing people, come off disrespectful. I'm lucky to have learned what I did learn from living in Memphis, and I just, I want other kids to understand the value of celebrating diversity. It's such a great thing to celebrate, so I was like, I want to have a place where kids can talk about things like this, and where I can kind of get the whole school kind of, thinking how I'm thinking, because how I think is making me happy with the idea of diversity.
Do you think Evelyn is capable of starting a program He'll successfully educate SHS students about diversity in Sandwich and in the rest of the world.
I feel like Evelyn would be able to start anything she desired because she has a great background, she always has people supporting her, and I feel like a lot of people would support that.